David.
I'm Ken.
And we're the Beachside Bros. We've known each other for over 15 years as we were neighbors, and now we live about 2 miles apart here in lovely Jacksonville Beach, Florida. As I said, we're the Beachside Bros, and the goal of our YouTube channel is to get you off the couch and cooking. We're going to serve up some great recipes. We're going to be cooking in the kitchen and outside, on the grill and the smoker, and we're also going to be showing you some great techniques to make this awesome food. And when you're with one of your best friends, you have to have some great drink. Don't worry, we've got you covered on that too.
Yeah, right here too.
Exactly. We're going to expand your culinary and boozy horizons here at Beachside Bros, and we're going to have a hell of a fun time doing it. Without further ado, we're going to hop into this week's recipe,
which is tri-tip. So we have our tri-tip all nice and cleaned up, and now we're going to get it in the marinade. And it is a super simple marinade. It's like 5 or 6 ingredients. It needs to sit in there about, if you got an hour, give it an hour. If you got 3 to 4 hours, that's really perfect. So what we're going to use, we're going to get our tri-tip in a bag, and we'll use our tongs. I'm trying to be careful with the bag to make sure it doesn't make a whole heap of noise. Get our tri-tip in there. And then once you've got him in here, let's get this guy out of the way. Again, super simple. You want to use about 1/4 cup of olive oil, and plus or minus. You don't have to be crazy accurate. It's a marinade, right? You just want to make sure that doesn't get too much salt or pepper or anything like that. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of balsamic, and that's going to give it a nice little sweetness. Put a little bit. Got some old dry thyme, which don't throw away your dry thyme. It'll still be super fragrant even after it's dried out. It's dry thyme in your jar. It'll rehydrate. Any herb will rehydrate. So I've got a couple sprigs of that, and I'm just going to spread that around. I've got rosemary, 2 or 3 sprigs of that, fresh grown out back. And then I've got a couple of basil leaves, 2, 3, 4, doesn't really matter how much you like basil. I love basil. And then lastly in here, I've got, well, not lastly, second to last, I've got some crushed red pepper, flakes, and then I've got our garlic. And we're just going to smash that. Get this bag out of the way, I've been told. So you can see, and all I'm doing is just smash it with my hands to get it in there. Sprinkle it around. And you want to make sure that I'm trying to do this quietly, make sure that this zips up in there nice and tight, and then you want to just rub it. All you're doing is just getting those spices around there. I didn't use salt. I did use a couple of cloves of garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. That's going to be our salt along with our balsamic. That's going to have an acid in it. It's going to give us salt-like qualities. And then these herbs, we don't want to overpower the herbs. I want to get some basil on each side. You're going to wrap this guy up nice and tight. So what we have here, I've got about 2.5 pounds of creamer potatoes, and I know it's 2.5 pounds because I read the bag. It's 5 pounds. I used half the bag. So I'm going to finish up. Yeah, math, which is not my strong point. I'm going to finish up these. We know you guys didn't want to sit through me hacking up 2.5 pounds of taters. So we're just finishing these guys up, and then we'll talk about what we're going to put on them to roast them. Dame, you got any fancy tater facts?
Well, I have more of a question.
Okay.
More of a stumper. What is the origin of the potato, Ken?
I'm pretty sure it came from Ireland during a famine.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong. It
caused a famine.
It did cause a famine. The Incas first cultivated it in 8,000 to 5,000 BC, and it came to Europe in the 15th century. It didn't come to Ireland until 1589, brought by Sir Walter Raleigh. Look it up. Don't ask a question you don't want an answer to.
I'm having a little trouble, so I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on that because somebody's been on Google. So so you can see these guys have seeds in them. We don't want the seeds, so just turn your hand upside down so you catch the seeds. This is a half of a lemon squeezed into here. I've got a handful of seeds. I should give this to Mr. Inca.
I think the Incas did it the same way.
And then someone died. So from there, I'm going to use about a tablespoon of crushed red peppers, a little pinch again of that smoked ground black pepper.
And that smoke just adds such a nice subtle layer to it.
And I've got 2 garlic cloves, which I am going to smash, not like last time. Get rid of these papers. Last time we saved the papers. We didn't care about them because they're going in the marinade. It's not important. This time we're going to dice these up.
What's the origin of garlic, Ken?
I'm sure it has something to do with an Inca.
I don't know the answer to that one.
I know it works great in Mediterranean food and really any kind of food. My dad can't stand garlic. And last little guy.
Now with these, Ken is going to be adding lemon to it. So I'm Greek, and there's nothing better to me than lemon on potatoes. For some reason, it's just a magical combination. You get a little char like Ken's going to get on these potatoes, and it's the best thing you've ever had. So I'm really excited for these.
So again, we're going to chop it up. I'm not too terribly, although I don't want those giant pieces in there. But we're just doing a rough chop to make sure that evenly distributed across the taters. These are really going to be garlicky, and as you can tell, we both really like garlic. Everyone in my family likes garlic except for my mom and dad. So we got this, we've got the olive oil already in there and all those spices. We're just going to shake these guys around to make sure everything's evenly distributed. Use your hands, you're cooking, to make sure that the spices get everywhere.
It smells great. It really does smell good in here.
Dame, you want to hand me that,
Yes,
that
sir.
baking sheet?
I may as well do something.
Yeah. So I've got a foil lined baking sheet. Anything you can use to help keep your kitchen clean, I am all for. Get all that garlic out there. You can see some of this dripping in down the bottom, which is fine. I want the flesh side up because that's what's going to roast. And that's what's going to give us that color, that crispy crunch that we're looking for. Spread these out. You don't want them to poach, you want them to roast. All right, I'm going to shove these guys in a 375-degree oven. They're going to go for 35 to 40 minutes. About the time these guys are ready to come out, we're going to be throwing our tri-tip on the grill, thinking again that it's going to take anywhere from 15 minutes to 25 minutes to grill. So what we're doing now is while our potatoes are roasting, we're getting our basil pesto sauce up and going. So it's pretty straightforward. We're going to use 2 cups of basil. We have a whole bunch of basil I'm just going to peel. So I'm going to do about 2 cups of basil in here, and I'm just ripping them down. Everything should just come right off. I'm not too worried about stems. The chopper is going to take care of that.
No sticks and stems, Ken.
No sticks and stems. Yeah, we're not going to do sticks and stems, but we are going to do a butt ton of basil.
It smells fantastic in here.
Yeah. Between what's going on in the oven and this stuff, which is fresh basil, is just fantastic. A lot of people are mint people. A lot of people are not cilantro people, which I don't understand. I love cilantro. And then there's mint people. And I am actually not a mint person. It's not my favorite. And I'm pretty sure that these guys are actually all in the same family. Mint, basil, are all in the same family. So we got a whole bunch. Like I said, I'm using about 2 cups loose.
Again, no measuring cups here at BeachsideBros. Just guesstimate and eyeball it.
Just guesstimate. I mean, my gosh, it's basil pesto. If you don't use it all, it will last in the refrigerator for at least a week. If you're one of those weirdos that don't like leftovers, then throw it out. So I think that is about enough. Dane, what else do we got over here?
We got some Parmesan cheese, some red pepper flakes, some garlic, some lemon, and some olive oil.
Why don't you hand it to me?
Which one?
We'll just start from the front.
Okay.
So this is about a tablespoon of Parmesan. I am going to just rough measure because I don't measure anything. That is, I like things a little spicy. So it seemed like I over poured that. But that's about a teaspoon.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine. Of crushed red pepper flakes.
Can I just put it in there? Nope. Okay.
No. We're going to smash it now. You can put it in there. All right. Let me let you just put both of those in there.
Thanks, Ken.
You're the man. Here, Dane. Mr. Greek. Make sure get the lemon seeds. We don't want the lemon seeds. It's cooking 101.
You could go to the store and buy a thing that does. Oh, there's a seed in there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a seed. This is
Ken being cheap and not buying the equipment that can handle this.
I didn't think I needed extra equipment to keep seeds out of the stuff, but evidently I do.
I forgot to wash my hands too.
And the good thing is I understand that Google doesn't let you cuss, because in a normal day, if we were, but this there'd be a lot of cussing going on.
Is that enough lemon, Ken?
That's all the lemon, Dame. I'm good with that.
Okay.
We don't need
Can you get that seed out, please?
We
Ken?
don't need to. We're gonna get the seed out. There's another seed. We're just gonna pretend like that's garlic.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do is hit it with about probably anywhere from a quarter cup to a half cup of olive oil. Yeah, I think I need some more.
Smells
And
good.
you can't do it with escapee. Let's get rid of them. And what is this thing? NutriBullet. So, not sponsored. Alright, clearly need more olive oil. I think they have a thing where they call it something where they it's called the bartender method or something. Well, how about that? Alright, I think we're about done. So, let's see what we got in here besides a mess. So, I am looking at this guy, and you can see we're nice and ground up. We're going to pour this in, not that bowl. Where's the help? Jesus.
Why are the ramekins not where the ramekins are supposed to be, Jen?
Mrs. BeachsideBros.
Good help
failed
is
us again.
so hard to find.
This is like the 19th take because she kept hitting the start and stop button at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait till my wife's back in town. Maybe we can get some good help.
Came up with a name for her too, but it wasn't very complimentary.
Not
So
camera
you can
friendly.
See, it's not camera or YouTube friendly.
Love you.
And I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, this is nice and deep green. We're going to use that to dip our tri-tip in, which is what we started about 19 hours ago. So we're about ready to go ahead and get this guy on. And hey, he just happens to be right here.
Yep.
For some reason unzipped. So you can see that we're just moving him around. He is about room temperature. Sure, you are grilling your meat at room temperature. Let me just turn this upside down. You can
Why
see
is that,
where
Ken? Why do you want to grill at room temperature?
well, it takes longer to cook, dang, to get to that internal temperature. So, which for me, again, and you, I don't mind a cool center. Some people like it done a little extra. What do they call that? What's the word? You know, when it's
Rare?
when it's burnt. You know, in the middle when it's all gray and gnarly. What do they call that?
Medium or well.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
How's that a question? We have a cooking show. We don't even know the temperature of
Well,
steak.
because I'm never gonna have it. I'm never gonna have it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we are ready to throw the tri-tip on the grill, and it has been marinating now for about 3 hours, which is what we're looking for. You want to scrape as much of the marinade stuff and the herbs and all that stuff off. You can do it in the bag as much as you can. That's going to burn somewhat, but if you don't get it all off, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. So Dane, why don't you, if you could lift the lid for me.
Yes, sir.
All right, and I am going to put this guy on. Okay, so we are at
Literally about 120, exactly what Ken said earlier on.
let's turn it on just so you can see before the guy starts carving.
You make a liar of me, Ken?
Yeah, we're at 118, 119, 120. Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
So we're going to go ahead and tint this guy for about 10 minutes. We'll do that inside because weather has been fighting us and there's another storm coming. So, see you in a second.
Let's do it. Santa Maria steak, the tri-tip, the Newport steak, whatever you want to call it. There's two different grains. You've got, it depends which way you're looking at it, but you've got the horizontal and the vertical. So what you want to do, it's a very tender, lean cut of meat. You want to cut it, and even though it's very tender and lean, you want to cut against the grain, almost like you want to do with a brisket. We're going to go about an eighth of an inch thin, and oh man, this just smells so good.
We just say the dog is like going ballistic.
Yeah.
Other than the water. Get out of here.
So we want to go cross grain, like I said. And that burnt edge. Oh, this knife is just, it's like butter right now. Oh man. It is going to take all of my being to not take a piece of it right now. Look at that cut. It's medium rare, I'd say. Maybe a little bit, maybe medium rare plus. Oh, here we go. So we're cutting about an eighth of an inch thick. And like I said earlier, this is like butter. It is so good. It's medium rare. I can't wait to tear into this.
Already ate a piece. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go too thick with this.
That cut was a little thick there.
Yeah, you want to go thinner rather than thicker because it is a dense cut of meat, and kind of like you want to treat it like a flank steak. So this whole recipe works. If you can't find a tri-tip, not every place has tri-tip. Think flank steak. So if you're doing flank steak, house flank steak, you don't cut thick pieces of flank steak. You cut thin pieces of flank steak because if you do it, it's chewy. If you cut it too thick.
And you cook it the same way, very high heat. You sear it. You sear the juices in.
There you go.
And same way.
Yeah. How is?
That's so good.
All right.
So good. Let's plate it.
Have at it. We've got our tri-tip ready to go.
All right, let's go. We're gonna put a few slices down. This looks fantastic. It is medium rare. Just look at that. Beautiful. It smells great.
It's glistening.
It tastes great. I mean, just look at that. Little tiny slices, like we said. It's a great cut of meat. You do want to cut it thin, so that's what we've done here.
All right.
Put one more piece down, and you rock and roll, my man.
We're not hogging it all. So what we've done here is our roasted potatoes, and we did put a little bit of a chiffonade, like we mentioned earlier, of basil, which you can see. That's our French term.
Oh,
so we actually pretend like we know what we're doing.
We don't.
Make sure the thing is, yeah, we don't, because the thing almost went flying out. And then a little bit of Mediterranean salad. So this is just a spring mix. And then we did Kalamata olives. And I thought that normally I think when you go to an Italian restaurant, you're not going to get cucumbers with a Mediterranean salad. But what you will get is feta. And I did slice Kalamata olives. because they always seem to fall to the bottom when you have a big family style serving. These are Campari tomatoes and red onion, and again feta and just regular. Instead of this time, prior to we've been using the smoked crushed red pepper. We use just regular fresh crushed red pepper out of the grinder. And then the other thing that we did, which you saw earlier, is our pesto, which we're going to then drizzle right across the top here. And if you want to do a little bit over your potatoes, just to compound that basil. Not too much. You don't want it to be a basil. You don't want it to be one note. Just enough to flavor it. Dame, I think you're good to go on your. Oh yeah,
right.
And your
little olive oil, a little lemon.
A little lemon.
So I love this dish. Obviously, I love steak. I love every piece of this dish. The potatoes, the lemon potatoes. The potatoes have a little spicy back end. The pepper that we put on it, and obviously me being Greek, the feta, the olives, the olive oil. I'm ready to dig in. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get in there.
You first. Age before beauty.
And then I got all that. Let's do a little tater, a little piece of steak.
Oddly enough, I'm gonna go for the salad. I just think it looks amazing. Feta, the olive oil, the olive.
Fantastic.
What are you tasting with the steak, Shogs?
I get the herbs. I get the herbs on the outside crust. And then you just get straight meat. And I love the fact that it's medium and you get all those juices. It is, and then again the tater. Just a little bit of spice on the back end from those crushed red peppers. It's good.